Hey everyone, and welcome to another Decryptify tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about gas fees. Just to get straight into the content, gas fees are the transaction fees for the blockchain. Gas fees are basically emissions whenever you make a transaction that gets sent to the miners. Whether the miners are using proof of work, whether the blockchain is secured through proof of stake or proof of authority even, you're always going to be paying a transaction fee. And therefore you should account into your transactions when you're making swaps on Uniswap or whenever you're making just a regular transfer to your friend. You have to think about the transaction fees. So we're going to go over really quickly how the fees work, and we're just going to use Honeyswap since the fees are a lot less if we're using the X-type blockchain. So what we're going to do, just launch the app, go straight into a trade here. I have some XDAI in my wallet. I have one. The platform always sees your balance when you're connected. It can tell you how much you have. So let's just think of this as Ethereum. I mean, it's not Ethereum, it is XDAI, but the transaction fees come out in the exact same manner. You're just paying DAI instead of ETH in this case. So this is just a good crash course for you to understand. So if I wanted to trade my one DAI for some, what's a good project on XDAI? We're just going to talk about particle token. I could get 29 particle for my one XDAI. So if I wanted to swap this though, that's all of the DAI I have. When I go to confirm my swap, probably going to run into an issue. I don't even have the one GUI available. So let's just talk a little bit about how the gas fee is calculated here. The gas fee is multiplication basically of the gas price in GUI, and then you multiply that by the gas limit. The gas limit is the maximum amount of units that you're willing to spend on the transaction. The gas limit is discovered when executing a contract, so that's why you have a limit. You'll say I cannot go over this limit. If the contract basically does a forever loop, it could use all of your money if you had no limit. It's just the easiest way I can explain it. But you don't always reach the full limit, so the gas fee could be lower than this depending if that limit is reached or not. But just think 1 times 305,000. So we can play with this. So if we double this, it's going to go to 6, right? 611. If we triple it, it's going to go to 9. Just keep in mind that you have to be able to cover the gas fee when you make your transaction. We can't actually make this transaction because we're swapping all of our assets. We don't have anything available to cover the gas fee right now. And that's why we're getting our insufficient funds notification here. So if we just go ahead and reject this, right? So we could just trade, 95 cents on the dollar. Now when we swap, we can confirm here. Now we're not getting an issue anymore because we have 5 cents to cover ridiculously low gas fee on the XDAI network. So if we're talking about the gas fee on Ethereum network, all we have to do is go to ethgasstation.info, and we'll be able to see these are the actual prices in GUI. So if we go back to our transaction, right, instead of it being 1 GUI, we're going to be paying around 170 GUI on the network, which we actually we can't cover that much. It would take more than 5% of our transaction. That's how high the gas fees are. When it comes to making your trade, you just need to find your sweet spot. If you're okay with paying 163 GUI, then you can make the trade now. Sometimes you can wait for better opportunities. There are certain times of the day whenever the gas prices do go down. 50 or so is probably the lowest that I have seen them recently. So keep that in mind whenever you're making your trade that there are some pretty high fees right now. This is one of the scaling summits that Ethereum faces. And in my eyes, they will be making huge strides to lower these fees that we're currently paying and making it more acceptable for users to constantly use instead of having to think about when to put in their transactions. Just need to know how these gas fees work